This is Top Accolade Global News Update. I am Abiodun Mohammed. Ukraine and Russia have reported heavy casualties as the slow grinding fight for control of the salt mining town of Bakhmut continues in eastern Ukraine. Ukraine controls the area to the west of the now ruined and nearly deserted Bakhmut, while Russia's Wagner group controls most of the eastern part, according to British intelligence, with the Bakhmutka River that winds through the town, marking the front line. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky said more than 1,100 Russian soldiers had been killed in the past few days fighting along the Bakhmut section of the front line. He added that some 1,500 Russian soldiers had been so badly wounded they were unable to continue fighting. Russia's defense ministry said its forces were conducting further military operations in the eastern Donetsk region, which, together with neighboring Luhansk, makes up the industrial Donbas. The ministry said Russian forces had killed more than 220 Ukrainian service members over the past 24 hours. North Korea has fired 2 strategic cruise missiles from a submarine in a show of force just hours before the United States and South Korea began their largest joint military exercises in 5 years. The test, reported by state media on Monday, came days after leader Kim Jong-un oversaw a series of weapons launches and ordered his soldiers to intensify efforts to repel its rivals' frantic war preparation moves. The official Korean Central News Agency KCNA said the missile launches showed Pyongyang's resolve to respond with overwhelming powerful forces to so-called military maneuvers by the US imperialists and the South Korean puppet forces. KCNA also implied that North Korea aims to arm the cruise missiles tested with nuclear warheads. Pyongyang views military exercises between the US and South Korea as rehearsals for invasion and argues its nuclear weapons and missile programs are necessary for self-defense. The militaries of the US and South Korea began their Freedom Shield exercises early on Monday, the first time such large-scale drills have been held since 2018, when they were suspended in support of renewed diplomatic efforts to secure North Korea's denuclearization. President Xi Jinping has promised to transform the Chinese military into a Great Wall of Steel capable of protecting China's interests abroad, while he also emphasized the need for greater stability and security at home. Xi's remarks came in his closing speech to the National People's Congress, China's parliament, where last week he secured unanimous backing for an unprecedented third term in office. Despite recently cementing his status as one of contemporary China's most powerful leaders, Xi alluded to the many challenges facing China as it navigates a post-zero COVID landscape, a slowing economy, and a more challenging relationship with the West, particularly the United States. In quote, "Security is the bedrock of development, while stability is a prerequisite for prosperity," Xi told the assembly of 3,000 delegates on Monday. He also stressed the need for an improved national security system, an improved social governance system, and the safeguarding of China's new development pattern with a new security architecture. The speech reflected similar concerns shared during the Communist Party's 20th National Congress in October, when Xi used the word security 91 times, according to the US-based Brookings Institution. The Philippines and United States launched army-to-army exercises on Monday with a focus on enhancing the Southeast Asian nation's ability to protect and defend its territory from external threats. The drills come on the heels of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s decision last month to expand the United States' access to his country's military bases, a move that has infuriated China since the Philippines is seen as a fulcrum of geopolitical rivalry between the two major powers. More than 3,000 Filipino and US soldiers will participate in a 3-week-long annual exercises called Salaknib, which involve multiple small arms live-fire exercises, artillery and mortar live-fire events, and construction projects. The majority of activities will take place at Fort Magsaysay, the Philippines' largest military camp, and one of the 5 existing sites the United States has access to under its Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement (EDCA) with Manila. Under the agreement, the United States can use the bases for joint training, pre-positioning of equipment, and building of facilities such as runways, fuel storage, and military housing, but not to maintain a permanent presence. Britain approved a sharp increase in export of submarine parts and technology last year to Taiwan as it upgrades its naval forces, a move that could impact British ties with China. The value of licenses granted by the British government to companies for the export of submarine-related components and technology to Taiwan totaled a record £167 million during the first 9 months of last year, according to UK government exporting licensing data. That is more than the previous 6 years combined. An analysis of the data by Pressman showed. The data is publicly accessible, but the most recent Taiwan-related figures haven't previously been reported. Beijing considers Taiwan part of China, known as the One China policy, and strongly objects to perceived foreign interference with the island, believing it to be support for Taiwan's desire to be recognized as its own country. When presented with the figures by newsmen, China's foreign ministry said in a statement, in quotes, "If this is true, it is a serious violation of the One China principle, undermines China's sovereignty and security interests, and undermines peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait." End of quote. Britain does not recognize Taiwan and has no formal diplomatic relations with the island, but it maintains economic and trade ties, and there is a de facto British embassy in Taipei. That is the size of top accolade global news update. You can follow us on our social media platforms as displayed on your screen. Happy New Week!